Okay, so number one from the word problems is a Ferris wheel problem. As you can see, I already drew a picture and my curve. This Ferris wheel says that it has a radius of 24 meters, which means that the diameter is 48. Biggest mistake I saw on this one was people were putting 24 for the maximum height here. So remember, if you're getting on the Ferris wheel at the bottom, you're already 1 meter above the ground. So that's why we start our graph at 0 times 1 meter above the ground. And then as the Ferris wheel moves, doesn't really matter which direction I go in, it's going to go up until I get to 48. Or I'm sorry, this would be 49, the 1 plus the 48, okay? Until it starts to come back down again to my 1. So as you see here, I'm starting at time 0 at 1 meter, because that's where I am off the ground once I get on. Then I go up until I get to the top of 49 and then come back down. Now, it specifically said that it rotates a complete rotation every 24 seconds. Please remember, a complete rotation means your period. And your period means that it has to either go from a maximum to a maximum or a minimum to a minimum. Well, here's a minimum where I start at the 1. When I get back to the 1, I'm also at a minimum. So that's where I put my 24, and then I can break that up into 4s, which is going by 6. So here's an increment of 6, 6, 6, and 6. So I have an intercept here, maximum, intercept, minimum, okay? And then your job would be to write your equations. So I can really write a whole bunch of different ones here. If I said y equals, okay, let's actually find our b. So if I say that 2 pi over b, you should be doing these in radians, is equal to my period of 24. If I cross multiply, that's 24b equals 2 pi, divide by 24. So my b is going to be pi over 12, which is just me reducing, okay? I was able to find the middle ground here between 1 and 49, which was 25. So I knew that my, my A, distance between 25 and 49, is 24, okay? My B, we just found, was pi over 12. My C, we're going to pick, and my D, we found the middle between 49 and 1 is 25. Okay, so say I pick this point first, I suggest you start on one end. That means that it is a minimum, which means it would be cosine. If it's a minimum, that means it's going to start as a negative. So negative 24 cosine of pi over 12 times x minus 0, which for this one we really don't need all these parentheses right here, okay? Then I could go to this intercept and I could write a sine curve. So y equals, if I look at that intercept, the next point is a maximum, which tells me that my sine curve is positive. So this is 24 sine pi over 12. And then inside here I would have x minus the 6 plus 25, okay? I could also use this one. That one is a maximum, which means I'm going to use cosine, and it's going to be a positive cosine. So y equals 24 cosine pi over 12 x minus 12 plus 25, okay? And lastly, I'm going to go ahead and use this one. You could even go ahead and use this one over here, but we'll stop at that. Y equals, that's an intercept, which means it's sine, and the next point would be a minimum, so it's a negative sign. Okay, pi over 12 x minus 18 plus my 25. So those are 4 different equations that you possibly could use for this one.